Hi there, in this video we're going to see a practical example of using Matomo Tag Manager. So just for you to keep in mind that the process is always the same, is I add a trigger, so I add a tracking code, and then for this tracking code I'm going to assign a condition in order for this tag to be executed. This is what we call a trigger. Then we're going to preview if this given tracking code is working or not, and if it's working properly we're going to publish it, and if it's not then we're going to reconsider the tag that we had and as well the trigger that we associated to it. So let's now see a little bit more in practice how we can deploy this given tag and see how that works. Okay, so here we are in Matomo Tag Manager. So in the previous video that I showed, I show how you can deploy the container on your website. Now I'm going to show how you can use Matomo Tag Manager and how it can be useful. So first of all, I need to deploy what we call a tag. So I will need, of course, to choose a tag. So I'm going to click here on create a new tag. As you can see here, there are many different tags that you can pick up. In my case, I'm going to use a Matomo tag, so that's why I'm clicking on this one. Then I'm going to select in which website I would like to send the data to, so that's where I need to click here on the Matomo configuration. So in my case, I need to send it to the site which has for ID site number 6 because it represents the website to which I would like to send the data to. I'm going to click here on create a new variable. Just keep in mind that here it's just the ID site that I picked it up. Okay, I will explain in another video what are the variable. Then I need to explain what is the kind of tracking code that I would like to deploy, because Matomo can support many different kind of tracking code. In my case, I would like to deploy an event, and the event that I would like to deploy, so event is any interaction that you would like to track with Matomo Analytics, and in my case I just would like to track an event which is going to be like a scroll. So I would like to track the interaction when the user is scrolling down the page. So I'm just going to say, okay, the event category is going to be named scroll. And then if I go down the page, I have what we call the trigger to associate to this given tag. So the trigger corresponds to the condition in order for this given tag to be executed. And in my case, as what I'm interested in is to have someone scrolling down, which is tracked. So I'm going to select the scroll reach trigger, and here I have the configuration of this trigger, but I'm going to save it. I'm going to create a trigger right now because I have a video about trigger that I would like to show you later in order to explain it a little bit more in details. And now I just click on create a new tag. So what I did here is that I select one tag, and then I associate to it a trigger, as you can see up here, and now I can just create my tag. And oh, by the way, here I forgot to mention here the action of my event. So I'm just gonna duplicate the value action, and I'm gonna duplicate as well the value name with the same value that I put here for category. And now I click here on create a new tag, and as you can see right now it's telling me, okay, that's great, you created your first tag. If you would like actually this tag to go live, okay, so it's like within a CMS when you create a blog post or a page, it does not go live yet. You need to click on publish in order to have it live. So in my case, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna maybe just preview it and debug it, because you never know. Here with Matomo Tag Manager, you are playing with scripts, you are playing with tags, with tracking codes, and in some very rare cases, at least if you know what you are doing, it may of course change the way your website looks. So it's always good to preview before publishing. So that's why I activated here the debug and preview mode. And now I'm going to go on my website, and I'm just going to copy and paste this given link that Matomo gave me in order to see what is triggered for my website. And here, as you can see, nothing is executed in terms of tag, and that's totally fine because I have not yet triggered the tracking code, because it was when the user is scrolling more than 50% of my pages. So now I'm gonna scroll down, and here, as you can see, something happened here, like the MTM scroll reach event, which have been fired. And if I look close to it, I will see that this given tag have been fired. So normally for my given visit hub here, I should see this event appearing within Matomo Analytics ID site number 6, because this is exactly what I wanted to achieve over here. So I'm going to go to my ID site number 6 and see if one event have been registered for my interaction. So I'm just going to go here within the visit log, and as you can see, this event has been recorded. So just to make it simple, what we just did here in Matomo Tag Manager is like we choose the tracking code to deploy for this given tracking code that we choose. So in our case, it was to measure that a scroll has been done. Then I associate a trigger, so condition, in order to explain when I would like this given tag to be executed. And when I did the combination of these tags plus trigger, I decided actually to check if these given tags and triggers are working properly, and that's why I activated the debug mode. And once the debug mode was activated, I looked if when I was supposed to, let's say, see this tag, when I was triggering this given tag, if it was showing up. In my case, it showed up. So I'm now able to click here on publish in order for those changes to go live and for any visitors to be tracked with this given tag. And that's it for the presentation of Matomo Tag Manager as a use case. The best piece of advice I can give you is for you to practice a little bit. So do not hesitate to deploy your container on a test website and to create your first tag and first trigger associated to it. Try the preview and debug mode as well in order to see if your tag and triggers are working properly. And if you feel ready, do not hesitate to publish in order to start collect the first data. Thanks for watching.